Somewhere at the edge of the universe, a star is singing. Its voice is older than galaxies, softer than the first breath of dawn, and tonight, someone is listening. The observatory had been watching the Carinine star for centuries. It was the last light in a darkening corner of the cosmos, an ancient red giant that should have gone silent long ago. But instead of fading, it sang, not in radio pulses, not in neutrino bursts, in something stranger, an audio signature buried deep in its electromagnetic field. Dr. Alara Kane had spent most of her life decoding stellar songs, but this was different. It wasn't random. It was patterned. It was language, and it was counting down. By the time the message reached Earth, the star had just 3 years left before collapse. No unmanned probe could survive the gravitational chaos that would follow. So Alara volunteered, not because she was fearless, but because she was tired of watching the universe die in silence. Her ship, the Aurora's Breath, was fitted with a resonance array that could listen to stellar frequencies, as if they were voices in a choir. She set course for Carinine, knowing it would be her last voyage. As she approached, the star filled her entire view, a swollen, burning sphere of crimson and gold, its surface writhing like a living ocean. The song was clearer now. It wasn't just melody, it was story. She heard a time when Carinine had been young, when planets spun around it, oceans sparkled under alien skies, and civilizations looked up at its light with awe. She heard their rise and fall, their laughter and wars, their last words whispered to the night. Then Alara activated the resonance array. The song changed. You came, it said, not in words, but in the language of memory. She felt its warmth, not as heat, but as comfort, like standing by a fire on a frozen world. Why do you sing? She asked aloud. The answer flowed through her. So I will not be forgotten. She understood then. Every thought, every dream from the worlds it had touched, was woven into its light. With each passing moment, it lost pieces of itself to the dark, and when it went out, those memories would vanish forever. Alara couldn't save the star. No one could, but she could remember. For days, she recorded everything. The music, the images, the voices of people who had been dust for billions of years. She didn't sleep. She couldn't. The closer the collapse came, the faster the song grew, until it became a symphony of entire civilizations rushing toward silence. Then the melody slowed. The star whispered, "It's time." The first tremor shook her ship. Space rippled as the core collapsed. In her final transmission to Earth, Alara described the sight, a petal of fire folding inward, the surface imploding in a wave of gold, the heart dimming into a singularity. The song didn't scream, it sighed, a lullaby for itself. "Remember me," it said, as the light vanished. Her signal ended there. Years later, astronomers replayed the recordings she had sent. Hidden inside the lullaby were entire histories, languages, art, names of the lost. They called it the last star's lullaby. And in quiet moments, when the universe seemed too big and empty, people would listen. Because in that song, they didn't just hear a dying star. They heard themselves.